do you think's gonna win the election?
Part of me thinks Biden's gonna win. I'm Darius. This is my roommate Arman. I support President Trump, and he stands with Joe Biden, and we're first-time voters. We're perfect examples of the American dream. My family couldn't pay for college. Your family, you said you couldn't pay for your college, but we're still here because we worked for it.
I was probably about 10, and I heard 3 loud gunshots. I got to the ground as quick as I could, but it was like at that moment that I realized I didn't want to live like that.
I was raised in Phoenix City, Alabama, in a very, very low-income area. I was raised by a single mom. Out of my 4 siblings, I was the only one to graduate from high school. I think our community is a lot more conservative than we actually think. Like, we grew up in very similar communities, and you were talking about how you heard gunshots as a kid. Same thing for me. We need guns to be able to protect ourselves. That's the only thing sometimes that can protect us. My middle brother, Dean Alexander Smith, he passed away while he was getting arrested by cops. He was saying that he couldn't breathe, but the officers weren't really listening to that too much. He has asthma as well, and so all that kind of went into play. He ended up dying on the spot there. And so that happened in February of this year. I was upset, I was angry. I get a lot of people that tell me like, oh, you should hate the police. I feel like there was a couple of bad apples, but as a whole, the institution of the police force, I respect. So do you remember when I got to meet the president?
Yeah.
Actually, here, I'll show you. I just got some pictures.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he's actually kind of like taller than I expected. The reason he won the presidency was he was able to inspire American blue-collar workers.
Oh, definitely.
He speaks in a way in which he identifies with American people.
While he is a strong leader, I will say that. It's just that he's also a loose cannon.
Honestly, he'd be a very attractive candidate to a lot of people if he would just stop tweeting and stop saying a lot of the crazy stuff.
I hate the way the Democrats feel like they don't have to campaign as hard towards our population because they know that they're gonna get our vote. It just makes it seem like we're taken for granted. In 2016, it's just crazy to think what would have happened had every registered African American shown up to vote. And I feel like the reason a lot of us didn't show up is because a lot of us just feel like our votes don't matter.
Quite frankly, I'm not a fan of either of these 2 candidates. I'm a young minority who's individualistic. These are 2 old white men.
It does definitely make me angry.
Oh, nice.
The top 1%'s getting they're getting these tax breaks, but my mom has to work so hard just to make ends meet. I don't feel conflicted in voting for Joe Biden because I know that the alternative is Donald Trump.
President Trump, I have my reservations, like I think a lot of people do. But the reason I'll be voting for him is because I am a fan of his policies. I do think he was doing quite a good job before Corona came.
How do you think the Senate's gonna go?
We can argue all day about politics, but he's still gonna be one of my best friends afterwards. And I feel like that's the beauty of politics that we're missing nowadays. The fact that at the end of the day, whether or not we agree or disagree, it shouldn't matter because we're all Americans.